seen the American Dream too. And what a boat it was. What a boat it was. Hiccup had never seen anything like it before, and Hiccup had seen plenty of boats in his life. Hooligan raiding ships, bog burglar sneak boats, Roman dragon rustling, galleons, ugly thugs, slaving craft, you name it, Hiccup had seen it. But this was something completely different. It was truly immense. It was about 6 times the size and depth of an ordinary Viking ship. It had not one, but 2 masts, and planted right at the back of the deck was a strange, gigantic tube, like a bent chimney, out of which smoke was curling. How extraordinary. Perhaps this was a ghost ship, or Hiccup had stumbled into sleep, and this was all merely some weird nightmare. The raptor tongues approached it through the great drift of smoke, and circled the gigantic vessel twice before they landed swooping low over the prow of the ship. Uh-oh, 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 thought Hiccup, as he was, as in an agony of coughing, as the raptor tongue folded back his wings, preparing to land on deck. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. The ship's deck was thronged with a particularly unpleasant load of barbarians, who let out a cheer as the raptor tongue let Hiccup go, and laughed wildly as he sprawled on the deck, with Kamikaze and Fishlegs being dropped beside him. "Come back and fight like Vikings, you cowardly bats!" shrieked Kamikaze in a twist of fury at being kidnapped by raptor tongues, and their new captors only laughed the more. The young Vikings were wound round with ropes as securely as chickens trussed up for slaughter, and tied upside down to the central mast of the ship. Even Toothless and the Stormfly had been captured and tied up next to their masters, so the mood of the 3 young Vikings was gloomy, anxious, even terrified. They didn't know what their captors were going to do to them. What was a very bad sign, however, was the entire crew was shouting, "Kill, kill, 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 kill the children, kill, kill, kill." Oh, that is not very nice. Even Kamikaze, who liked to look on the bright side, could tell that this didn't look promising. "Do you think they're talking about us?" whimpered Fishlegs. "Well, we're the only children here, aren't we?" Hiccup pointed out, "She's chattering together like crab's claws. We should probably be planning our escape." "Oh, I love Kamikaze," chirped Kamikaze, cheerily listening to the cruel laughter and jeering of the brutes, who were now merrily lobbing fish at the poor captives. "You're right, Kamikaze," admitted Hiccup. "But it looks like there are at least 200 of them. They're heavily armed, and I don't know about you, but at the moment I am dripping wet, unarmed, and tied securely upside down to a mast. I'm not sure how we're going to escape this position. I guess we could try reasoning with them, but they don't all look all that reasonable to me." "Let us go!" This is back at Kamikaze. She's upside down, so you have to turn. "Let us go, you plankton-hearted, jellyfish-muscled, slimy sons of shrimps, or I'll grind your bones to sand and throw you back into the sea with the eels where you belong. You can't keep a bog burglar under lock and chains." The growling and the chanting increased to double the volume, and the air rained down with fish thrown in their direction. Shouts of, "You and whose army, Blondie?" "Nice reasoning here, Kamikaze," said Hiccup. One of the barbarians scrolled over to a tent built in the centre of the ship and shouted, "Boo, boss! They're here!" "It appears," said Hiccup grimly, "that we are expected. That is not a good sign." "None of this is a good sign," shivered Fishlegs. "Who do you think has kidnapped us?" Hiccup racked his brains. Who hadn't been at the friendly inter-tribe swimming race? Bashmuks, ugly thugs. I do hope it's not ugly thugs, whimpered Fishlegs, but it was much worse than ugly thugs. For the barbarian shipmates drew back the curtains on the tent when in the middle of the ship, and there, sitting, having a little light supper together, were 3 men who were 3 strokes of very bad luck indeed. Reading from left to right, there were Madgus the murderess, Norbert the nutjob, chief of the hysteric tribe, and Gumboil, Madguts's lovely assistant. Oh dear. An unpleasant old acquaintance. They were sharing a deer between them. Oh, no, that's chapter 5. I've got to have that tomorrow. Uh-oh, though. Look, there they are. Madguts the murderess, Gumboil, his lovely assistant, and my favourite, Norbert the nutjob. We'll read them tomorrow.